Sad day, Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Sad day in that
We're all sad. Yeah, that's fine by me. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. You're in first appearance magistrate court. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial date. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. We have Miss Julie Chase at the main jail from the Public Defender's Office, and we have Mr. Brian Reedy from the Public Defender in the courtroom. We have Assistant State Attorney Eric Linder, and we have Rochelle Buchanan from the Clerk's Office. Hello. All right, so.
And we have our Spanish interpreter.
And our Spanish interpreter. So who do we need the Spanish interpreter?
There was, I think, three. On page 3, Frank Meza.
Okay, so how about Christina Ray? Okay, let me raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Just say.
Okay. All right, so what about, can you make an announcement and ask them to raise their hand?
Alguien necesita intérprete en español, alce su mano, por favor.
Ms. Chase, can you turn around? Someone's raising their hand.
I have you. Anybody else? I have those two, Judge.
Okay, and their names?
This is Mr. Frank Meza, page 3. And we have Sergey Perez Otero, page 5.
Okay, anybody else need a Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más necesita intérprete en español?
Hi, Deputy McCoy.
Hi. No, ma'am, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Conti? Conti? Okay, Paul Ryan. Thank you. All right. Okay, so are you Frank Aldebaran Meza?
¿Usted es Frank Aldebaran Meza? Yes.
All right, sir, you're charged with DUI, unlawful blood alcohol level.
Se le acusa de guiar bajo los efectos, nivel en la sangre ilegal en el de alcohol.
Greater than a .15.
Más de 1.5.
$1,000 bond.
$1,000 de fianza.
And we have DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond.
Y tenemos manejar bajo los efectos, primer delito, $500 de fianza.
Counts 3 and 4 are not for magistrate, those are just traffic tickets.
Cargos 3 y 4 son solamente multas de tránsito.
The court does find probable cause.
La jueza haya motivo justificado.
Priors, Brian?
Antecedentes de estado.
Eric? Sorry. Okay, so we'll ROR him. Thank
Le
you.
vamos a dar libertad bajo palabra. Gracias por los otros cargos.
Next one is Sergey, page 5. Perez Otero, main jail.
Sorry.
Are you Mr. Perez Otero,
¿Usted,
sir?
señor Pérez Ortero?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you have possession with intent to sell, manufacture, deliver methamphetamines.
Tiene posesión con intención de vender, fabricar o distribuir metanfetamina.
Were you stabbed, shot, taken, beaten, or hit?
¿Cómo es?
Police beat you up? Where you went to? Okay, have a seat where you went.
This is just possession.
Esto es solamente tenencia.
From my reading, it looks like the officer's intent was to charge just possession.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
that
going
was-
Parece que los agentes solamente quieren acusarlo de tenencia de esto.
So simple possession
Así
of
que simple tenencia
methamphetamine, right?
de metanfetamina.
Yes, Judge.
So bond would be $1,000.
La fianza va a ser $1,000.
That would be
agree?
the standard bond.
Do you agree, Mr. Reedy?
That would be the standard
¿Está
bond,
de
yes.
acuerdo? Sí, esa es la
I don't
fianza
mean the bond.
estándar.
You know what I mean.
I know.
Okay. All right, so does he have a prior history?
¿Tiene antecedente penal?
Checking that right now.
Estoy
Judge.
chequeándolo ahora mismo, su señoría.
not necessarily in chronological order, but 2010 in Dade,
2010 en el Dade,
false information on driver's license application.
información falsa en una solicitud de licencia de conducir.
2010 in Collier County, felony possession of controlled substance.
2010 en el condado de Collier, tenencia de una sustancia regulada.
Nothing further, Judge.
Nada más, su
All
señoría.
right, I'm gonna ROR him, Ms.
Voy a
Chase,
darle
okay?
libertad bajo palabra.
Thank you, good luck to you.
Gracias, buena suerte.
Nope, down the back now.
Okay, Christina Reyes Ortiz,
Main jail.
thank you so much. Do they need a Spanish interpreter?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you, Madam
You're
Interpreter.
welcome, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
See you next
All right, Ms. Ortiz, you have a that's okay, you have a capious misdemeanor for trespass in a structure. Court finds probable cause for your arrest, she paid her bond.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
You're welcome. Oranthea Ulrich. Okay, thank you. Bonded. Court finds probable cause. And then we have Jennifer Lumpkin,
North Broward.
North Broward. Good morning, Miss Lumpkin, or good afternoon. You have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense. So it's a petty theft that's being charged as a felony, probation violation, 2 counts. Bond set at $750 on count 1. You are going before your division judge, Judge Edward Merrigan, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court's going to order no return to the Walmart located at 2500 West Broward Boulevard. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Main
Next one is Jardy Edwards. Jardy Edwards,
jail.
main jail. Thank you, Ms. Chase. All right, Mr. Edwards, you have reckless driving first offense and driving while license is suspended second offense. $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What's his prior history like?
I don't have his driving record in front of me, but other than that, possession of cannabis, possession of prescription, meds without a prescription last year.
All right, I'll ROR him. Show up to court, sir. Good luck to you. William Kenneth Lane. Then after him is Brandon McNair. Good afternoon, Mr. Lane. You have driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. You do have a capious traffic for driving while license is suspended, bond set at $1,000, total $1,750. What say you, Ms. Chase?
She indicated someone was posting his bond. Is it possible to inquire if that's been done?
Sure. Devin, do you know if it's been posted?
William Lane.
Pardon?
She was asking who it was for.
Oh, William Lane, William Kenneth Lane. Virginia. Okay, nothing as of yet.
Would the court be inclined to ROR count 1, allow him posting the bond on the capious?
I don't have a problem with that, do you, State?
My concern, he's failing to appear on one DWS and he's only getting arrested on it by driving again without a suspended license.
Tell you what, I'll do 250, okay? Thank you. And 1,000 on 1, 2 I mean. Brandon McNair. Hello, Mr. McNair, you have possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000, resisting an officer obstructing. Without violence, no bond required. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, I did speak to Mr. McNair, but I'm being advised he declined the services of the public defender's office, so at this point, I wouldn't.
All right, Mr. Reedy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you have any
I would ask you
concerns?
to appoint our office for purposes
All right,
of this
I'm gonna
hearing.
appoint your office.
Okay, so I can't burn up?
It's $1,000 bond on one, no bond required on two, total of $1,000. Can someone come up with $100? Someone left a message at our office yesterday at 2 something in the morning and said that I should be telling them that they have to come up with the collateral. It's not just the 10%.
Frankly,
Yeah, I know,
that's
I know.
between them and the bondsmans.
I know.
Judge, he's been in Broward County for 33 years. He's currently living with a friend, but he does have family local. He's not working. He doesn't have any money in the bank. He's not able to post that $1,000 bond.
I don't know, what do you say, Mr. Reedy? I mean, I just have a concern to ROR.
I think there are some concerns, based on what I'm reading in this probable cause affidavit. I have to share the court's concern. But if he can't bond out, I mean, I hate to see him stay in jail on this too.
I'll tell you what, why don't you contact, maybe you can look it up tomorrow or the next day and see who it is, whose division he's assigned to, and maybe
Sure.
alert them, would you do that?
Sure.
I don't mean to put more work on you, but. All right, so we'll leave it at 1,000. Thank you, Ms. Chase. Christopher Barbary. I mean, maybe you can find something out by then and it'll be set for a second look.
I'm flagging the case, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Barbary, a burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed, grand theft auto, 1,000, criminal mischief between $200 and $1,000, first offense, $100. Resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100. Total bond is $2,200 plus count one. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $2,000 bond on count one.
Okay,
Just no return,
no return?
please.
Okay, and no return to 520 Northwest 7th Terrace in Pompano Beach. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and there's no victim contact with.
That's why I was arrested at?
Yes.
Judge, I would argue that there's no probable cause to support count two, the grand theft auto. According to the report, Mr. Barbary was a passenger in the vehicle and then fled from law enforcement once the car stopped. There's nothing in here to indicate that he knew the car was stolen or that he was involved in the stealing of the car
Or the carjacking?
or the carjacking.
Armed
Certainly nothing to
carjacking.
connect him to that either. So I don't think there's probable cause to support count two.
The fleeing does show a consciousness of guilt, Your Honor.
A consciousness of guilt of what, though?
Your Honor, if he's sitting in a car
It said
innocent,
Barbary had knowledge of the vehicle being stolen.
I did not.
No, hold on, Mr. Barbary, don't say anything. It's what it says, Judge, is due to the defendant Barbary fleeing from law enforcement after attempting a felony stop, Barbary had knowledge of the vehicle being stolen.
Yeah.
So the officer's basing this assumption that Mr. Barbary knew the car was stolen based on the fact that he ran. And that is not enough for probable cause to establish knowledge that the car was stolen.
Your Honor, it is enough for probable cause. By itself, it might not be enough for proof beyond a reasonable doubt. But if he is in a car and has no reason to believe that car's stolen, why is he running from the police, hiding in, breaking into a location? One moment, Your Honor.
Can I speak to it?
No.
Going through multiple backyards, hiding in a closed shed structure surrounded by a fence, if he's just innocently sitting in a car.
All right, for purposes of today, I am finding probable cause.
Then I'd ask you to ROR him on count two, since the state seems to be of the position that they're not going to be able to prove that charge anyway.
All right, so what are you at? He's asking for 2,000 on one. What say you, defense?
Judge, being that he's been a resident for 20 years of Broward County, he just started working at a fast food restaurant. He does not have any money in the bank. He's living with a friend. He can't afford to pay rent at this point. We were going to ask for pretrial. He's unable to post monetary bond.
I'm gonna do 1,000 on one, ROR on two, and ROR on 3 and 4. And no victim contact, direct or indirect. With George Moreland. Thank you, sir. Daniel Curtis.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, bonded. Court finds probable cause. David Paul.
I'm sorry, Judge, Mr. Curtis is present?
He bonded, right?
He's here, but he posted bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Good luck, sir. David Paul.
Yeah, he bonded.
David Paul bonded?
Can't bond. There's no bond.
No. I was
Okay.
just answering the
I was
deputy,
gonna
sorry.
say. All right, are you David Paul, sir?
Yes.
All
Judge,
right,
I've been advised he has private counsel, Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Susan Oviedo?
I've been trying to find her, Judge. I don't know. Do you know how to spell her last name, sir?
AVIDO.
Ideo. Okay.
Yes.
Let me try that.
when did you hire her?
About a week ago.
Did she know you got arrested?
I'm not sure.
If we can't find her, then his option is to either continue it, or I'm not gonna be able to set any bond, or he go forward with the public defender.
Judge, I've already spoken to Mr. Paul, so if we want to go forward, I have information in terms of his ability to post bond.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Paul, you're charged with burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed, 2 counts. What say you, state?
Requesting $2,000 on each count. No return to the listed location.
All right, so, court does find probable cause, state's asking for 4,000 total, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with Rosemary Perez or Michael Rich, and no return to the 1160 Northwest 29th Place Sunrise or 11801 Northwest 29th Place Sunrise. If you go back there or have contact, you'll be arrested.
Judge, I'd ask for $1,000 per count.
What's his priors like, state?
He just pled out a theft in Dade County in November of last year. That's all I see, Judge.
I'm sorry, say that
That's all I
again?
see. A theft last November in Dade.
All right, I'm gonna do 2,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Collier, is that who's next?
Yes, Hassan or Rasayan Collier?
Rashawn, Judge, I'm asking for a photo order for his injuries on Mr. Collier.
Sure, no problem. Okay, Mr. Collier, you bonded. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. And I'll give a
Thank you,
photo
ma'am.
order.
Thank you.
Rislin Marcellini.
Been informed Mr. Mercellini
Good evening, Your Honor.
declined our office.
Good evening. All right, sir. Do you have a private attorney or you want to represent yourself?
I cannot represent myself. I don't have the knowledge to represent myself, Your Honor.
All right, so then you're not declining, so then we need the public defender to represent you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Marcelin, you have grand theft auto, $1,000, driving while license is suspended, habitual, $750 bond. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with Marie Baptiste.
That's my mama, Your Honor.
Well, sorry, sir, but she's the alleged victim in the case, so you can't have any contact with her, and that means passing no messages.
I have a Honor. I always come to court. Could I have an R&R, please? I always come to court. I never miss a day from court.
What say you, state?
One moment, Judge. See, Capias from 2012. I mean, there's other priors. I'm just looking to see if he ever failed to appear since he said he's never.
What can he afford for bond?
Your Honor, I'm poor.
Judge, he's advised he's not working. He's unable to post any monetary bond.
How does he
He
support
does not.
himself?
He doesn't have any money in the bank.
How does he support himself? How does he eat?
Me and my mama was helping me out, and that's, me and her got in an argument,
Don't talk about what
and I
happened.
left.
And Judge, that was the other issue. He was staying with mom, but I guess Your Honor just entered this no contact order, which creates a little bit of a problem.
Well, that's who that's who the victim is.
But I ain't steal her car.
Don't talk about the facts. Judge, does it indicate her desire to prosecute? I don't have the.
I always take her everywhere. She
Doesn't, I don't even see where it says it's his mother.
Well, it didn't. There was. I mean.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah, no.
maybe I missed it, because it's,
No, it doesn't say it there. Wouldn't have known if Mr. Marcelin didn't advise us, but she clearly reported it stolen.
all right, so what say you, State?
Your Honor, I would note he's got, between 2011, 2013, picked up 2 DWS habitual offenders, a delivery of cocaine, a possession of cocaine with intent.
Thank you.
On all those cases, he was sentenced to 2 years in state prison. 09, possession of cocaine with intent, battery on a law enforcement officer, attempted tampering with physical evidence, 2 years state prison. Possession of cocaine 08, 2 years state prison. Possession of cocaine with intent 06, 20 months state prison. Possession of cocaine with intent 04, 19 and a half months state prison.
All right, I'm gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision, however, on count 1, I am gonna leave the bond at $1,000. I'm sorry, I'm gonna ROR him on that. Count 2, I'm gonna leave the bond at $750. He's to report within 24 hours of his release, call in twice a week, report once a month in person. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. God bless you, Devin.
Bless you.
God bless you. Travis Brown, you're welcome. Mr. Brown, you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bless you.
With Cynthia Green.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there also a no return state?
Yes, 1530 Northwest 8th Street.
Pardon?
1530 Northwest 8th Street in
What
Fort
town?
Lauderdale. Bless you.
Your Honor, Mr. Brown is currently on pretrial supervision in case number 1801546 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. At this time, we're requesting a revocation of his supervision.
My uncle stabbed him.
What's his bond or release conditions in this case?
Looks like he was ROR to pretrial.
He was our pretrial.
Who signed that order? Did I do that?
No, Judge Murphy.
What are you requesting as far as the bond on the pretrial services? I am going to revoke it.
If I could just have 1 moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, on that case, I'm going to be requesting a $5,000 bond. The allegations are Mr. Brown swung a chair at his uncle. His uncle armed himself with a knife to defend himself. There was an altercation, at which point Travis Brown was cut. The officer, based on the investigation, determined that Travis Brown was the initial aggressor. So I'd be asking for $5,000 on the ag assault. On the case before, Your Honor, I'd be requesting
It's ag assault battery with a deadly weapon, by the way, just for the record.
yes, I understand. On this burglary, I'd be requesting a $5,000 bond, noting in addition to being out on pretrial for aggravated assault when he allegedly committed this offense, in 2013 he was convicted of burglary of a conveyance, sentenced to 2-year state prison. Another burglary conveyance in 2013 with a VOP, 2-year state prison. 2012 burglary of a dwelling with a VOP, 2-year state prison. And in 2008 he was convicted of strong arm robbery.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Brown, he's a resident of South Florida, Broward County for 27 years. He's established himself here. He's employed, albeit part-time, working in the lawn service industry. He makes $40 a day when he does actually work and get work offered that day. He lives with his girlfriend. He pays rent $350 with the 2 children that he has also that they support. Because we were going to ask for something significantly lower than what the state has presented. We were initially going to ask for $1,000 on count 1. I don't have the information when it comes to the case Your Honor is revoking on, but we would ask for something less than the state's request.
All right, in the instant case, no victim contact, direct or indirect with Cynthia Green, no return to 1530 Northwest 8th Street, Fort Lauderdale. Court is going to do a GPS level 2, $2,000 bond on this one. And on the 1815460 CF10A, the aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, court's going to revoke his pretrial and do a $5,000 bond. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Leon Lloyd. Good afternoon. You have resisting an officer without violence. $100 bond.
My friend needs a lawyer.
Okay. Do you want him to represent you for this purpose?
In contact.
Okay. As I have spoken to Mr. Lloyd, however, I've been advised he has a private attorney who might be able to represent him, so.
All right.
Huh?
Sir, do you want to try to get a hold of your attorney, or do you want the public defender to represent you?
They can try to call or reset you.
Have you hired him yet?
I made contact with my roommate to see if he found him, but, so I don't know.
Why don't we just go ahead with the public defender? It doesn't sound like he's hired him. So, sir,
That's
you
fine,
have
Judge.
resisting an officer obstructing without violence, $100, temporary tag expired 7 days or less, not for magistrate, reckless driving, first offense, $100 bond. Fleeing with disregard or safety to persons or property, we need to talk about bond, driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense. What say you, Steve?
Requesting a $5,000 bond on count 4 is criminal history. Out of Dade County, 2011 felony misdemeanor theft, 2010 out of Dade, theft 2009 out of Dade, resisting without violence, and theft out of Dade 06. He has gone to state prison out of Leon County in 02, grand theft, 2 counts in credit card fraud, and 2,000 attempted burglary of a dwelling and 3 grand thefts. He was sentenced on all cases to 2 years and 4 months in state prison.
Easy to find.
Okay, what say you, Ms. Chase?
Judge, he's been a resident of South Florida for 37 years. He's currently employed as a security guard. He is living with a friend, paying $500 a month in rent. He only has $150 in the bank. We were going to ask for $1,000 on count 4 and ROR the remaining counts.
All right, a ROR on all the counts except for 2, we don't need to, and on count 4, I'm gonna do 2,000. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Kyle Watson. Kyle Watson, step up, and then we have Antoine Pierce. Mr. Watson, good afternoon, sir. You have battery on an officer, firefighter, good afternoon, EMT. And you have counts 2 and 3, resisting an officer without violence, trespassing, occupied structure, or conveyance. Court's gonna order no return to Geronimo's Bar and Grill at 5810 South University Drive in Davie. If you go back there, you will be arrested. And what say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm going to request a $5,000 bond on 1. Allegedly kicked a police officer in the leg. Also noting, Your Honor, I don't believe he resides in the U.S. The address that's listed on the booking sheet, I believe, is in the Cayman Islands.
It also says Canada is where he was born. What's your address, sir? Where do you live?
I'm born in Canada. I am in the U.S. right now processing a work visa for the Cayman Islands. So I'm just here. I'm supposed to be leaving very hopefully and then this week.
Although, Judge, he is living with his girlfriend's family, that they have a home here in Broward County, as well as the Caymans that they are going back and forth between. But he does have family and a residence here that he could remain at. It's my understanding, too, he has no prior offenses. He's not been arrested before. He is employed as a chef. The issue is, as you mentioned, the visa, he's trying to reestablish and residence and employment. So at this point, does not have any money in the bank. I'd also ask for a photo order of injuries.
Sure.
He does have some injuries due to his arrest.
All right, the court finds probable cause. Court will set bond at $2,500 on count 1. The other 2, I don't need to set a bond. No return, sir, to Geronimo's Bar and Grill. Thank you. Antoine Pierce.
Bonded.
All right, let's do the recalls from this morning. Elliot Murray.
North Broward, Your Honor.
North Broward, thank you. Are you Elliot Murray, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you have grand theft auto, $1,000, driving while license is suspended, habitual, $750. Capious felony, 3 through 8 are all warrants for violation of pretrial felony, no bond holds for magistrate. Count 3 is actually a capious felony, no bond hold for magistrate. Count 9 is a capious misdemeanor, $100 bond. And count 10 and 11 are capious misdemeanors, $500 and $250. You're gonna see your division judge, Ernest Kalra, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. and you're going before Judge Cal Evans the next day on Wednesday at 9 a.m. The court does find probable cause. What say you, defense? Anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You'll see your division judge tomorrow and the next day, okay? All right, let's call the second looks. second. First person is going to be here. Okay, Billy Carter, page 3. Well, it's a motion for release. Paul Ryan, thank you.
Who's this?
State,
Who's this, Your Honor?
Billy Carter, it's a motion
Yes.
for release.
Yes, Your Honor, the state filed the information.
All right, so I'm going to deny the motion for an ROR. State filed a motion as charged.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so sir, you'll be going before your division judge soon for an arraignment, and you'll see your public defender there. Thank you, good luck to you. Next one is Kevin Ferry, page 2.
Conti.
Okay, we're at Conti. Mr. Ferry, good morning, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court not to take any action at this time. It appears this motion was filed too early. He's only been in custody a total of 14 days. He was first arrested December 3rd and was released on December 11th to a pretrial. He was then arrested January 1st on a violation of pretrial. He's being held no bond. So from that date till now is a total of 6 days, giving a total of 14 days.
All right, so we'll take no action, it's premature.
Yeah, also, Kevin, I'm sorry, I didn't know about the no bond hold when we spoke earlier.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, count page 2 and 3, Daniel Goodling,
Main jail.
main jail. Thank you, Julie. All right, Mr. Goodling.
Hi.
We're here today on a motion for ROR. What say you, state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state has not filed an information on either case. He's entitled
Okay, so
to
you have a
release.
possession of cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and then you have a possession of cocaine. I'm gonna ROR you in both cases. State has not filed formal charges. That doesn't mean that they can't in the future. Good luck to you, sir. Jerome Jones. Conti? Okay, did the state file charges
Yes, ma'am.
as charged?
We added a charge of fleeing and eluding. We filed grand theft auto as charged. We filed a burglary of an unoccupied structure, and the resisting without violence and no valid DL were filed as charged.
Okay. Okay, sir, so you'll be going to your arraignment soon, and you'll see your public defender then. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Sorry. Take your time. I see.
And then Larry McLean, page 3, Conti.
Conti.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd be asking the court to take no action at this time either. He's only been in custody a total of 22 days on this case. He was arrested December 3rd.
Okay, do you agree, defense?
That does appear to be accurate, Judge.
All right, so we'll take no action. You'll have to file it again in the future. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, anybody else at Conti?
No, ma'am.
It's been a pleasure working with you. Thank you very much. Today is my last day.
It
All
is.
right, yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye-bye. Okay. All right, so let's see who we have at Paul Ryan.
We have Brian.
Janie Bryant,
Yes, Your Honor.
page 6. Okay, this is a motion for a second look.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor might recall this case. I believe it was last.
I remember she failed to pay the taxi, but how did it come up with the battery on a Leo?
Yes, there was a altercation at Vegas Cabaret where she was making threats towards management.
Mm-hmm.
The arresting officer arrived on scene, made contact with Miss Bryan in the dressing room. Judge.
I remember
So she
the
grabbed a
misdemeanor, I'm gonna do a $1, I mean, on the MO, I'm gonna do a $1 bond. As far as the other one,
The concern is that she grabbed a pair of scissors from a table and went after the officer. He directed her to the ground, took the scissors out of her hand, and then she began spitting in the officer's face.
all right, so what say you?
I didn't get a chance to talk to her, Judge. So if you give me a minute.
Sure. Okay, we're gonna go off the record. So we can get you out of there. You're mute. Julie? Yeah.
We have Ian Schulman
All right, let's see, what page is that?
on page 4.
Thank you.
Lived here my whole life. I've never missed a court date.
All right, he has a total of $3,000. Who did his bond? Me?
You did, Your Honor, because when he was arrested on these charges, he was currently out on possession of fentanyl. He also has been to prison in the past for escape, with charges of resisting a merchant and battery. He's been to prison for burglary of a conveyance, and carrying concealed firearm and grand theft.
Okay.
It's just my understanding is that these are more akin to residue cases. It was what was in the actual paraphernalia, if you will. He is not able to post the $3,000 bond. I understand there were priors, but at this point, I mean, he's indicated he hasn't had any failures to appear.
I did a year and a half almost on pretrial release level 1.
Right.
Ms. Chase,
He does have an address in Margate that he can live at. If we could do pretrial, something supervised, he's willing to do that.
and I don't know if Ms. Chase realizes this, part of the reason he's here is because he failed to appear in court.
That was a traffic case. I apologize. I did write that down. I'm sorry. He missed a traffic court. I understand. Sorry.
Sir,
No,
I
it's
did
not,
have my...
and I want to point out, it's not, I wasn't even commenting on Julie not mentioning it, it's Mr. Schulman's the one saying, yeah, I've never missed court, but he has in traffic court.
No.
Well, excuse me,
In terms of a criminal case, I did make a note. He had a failure to appear in a traffic situation. He didn't remember the
That's
traffic
because
date.
I was sick.
But that's my bad. He wasn't
I was in
misleading.
the hospital. I was in a car accident.
All right, you know what? I gotta tell you, if he wants to go to a rehab or something like that, custody to custody, I'll do it. If not, I'm gonna deny the motion. Thank you.
He did indicate he's interested in a program, if necessary. If that's something the court would consider, we could look into it.
Ma'am, I did level 1 pretrial release for a year and a half, okay? I just got out of a rehab. The only reason I didn't stay was because the insurance cut me out because I was so sick from detoxing. I really want help, and if there's any way that you can release me to my father's custody, he will drop me off at that rehab because that's what he's wanted this entire time. That's the only reason he hasn't paid my bond.
The only way you're gonna go, sir, is with the GPS and the program pick you up.
I have no problem doing that.
Okay, have a seat. Let him have a seat. We gotta call a program, Julie. Who's the next person you have? What's your,
Eddie Rancher.
why does this name sound so familiar?
Because
How you doing, Your Honor?
Hi.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good, how are you?
Fine, ma'am. I'm just trying to get home to my mom, ma'am. Please give me a chance, ma'am. I'll take R&R or time served, man. I've been in here for 4 days, ma'am. Please give me a chance, please. I've been here 4 days. Time served, please. I beg you.
All right, sir, give the state attorney a second to talk.
I can tell you, Your Honor, the offer from the state's not going to be an ROR or time served. he's had lots of chances. As far as his record, he just had a trespass in December of last year, a theft in November of last year, resisting without violence, and trespass last year,
Yeah, that's, I remember him now.
And in
He has
this
a bunch of trespasses.
And in this instance, it's the same. It's a racetrack gas station.
Yep.
And apparently, he's been trespassed from before.
You know what?
They talked. Oh.
I remember this. I'm gonna respectfully deny the motion. Let him go before his division judge.
Eddie
Rancher.
And Your Honor actually raised the bond to $500.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. We'll deny it. No. You keep going back there, sir. Every time. I'm sorry.
She wants away.
Well, where are the deputies?
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a break for 1 second. Ryan, we'll be back in a second, Miss Chase. Okay, go ahead, Janie Bryant.
Judge, I'm going to ask the court to consider pretrial release for Ms. Bryant. She's lived here all of her life. She indicates to me she has no criminal history. She was arrested once on a case that was ultimately, I believe, dropped by the state. She's been living in the same address for the last 2 years with her family, with her cousins. She has 2 children, aged 6 and 7. She had been working at the Vegas Cabaret since 2014. And from what I understand, I think that when all this comes out as to what actually took place, that she was afraid for her own safety at the time. And then that's why she got, not from the police officer, but from someone else who worked there. And that's why she picked up the scissors. And I think that may come out. So I'd ask the court to consider pretrial release for her.
What's her prior state?
Your Honor, I'll check, but while I'm checking, that really doesn't make sense because the police officer in the report is there. He's in full uniform. There was really no reason for her to fear for her safety at that point with an armed police officer standing right there. And when she armed herself with the scissors, she didn't go after the other person that she's telling Mr. Reedy she was in fear for. She went after the officer.
All right, while you're doing that, Mr. Ian Schulman wants to go somewhere. I don't think so. You might want to call Ms. Chase fast. State, I'm inclined to do a GPS level 2. On this one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Janie Bryant, not
she also
the
has a
other.
writ as of right now. She's
For
a
how
civil-
much?
I don't.
It looks like $295.
But yeah, I mean, nothing can be done about that, at least from here. But if that's
Did you go before your divorce judge?
Yes, ma'am. I went upon her. Oh, can she hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I went upon her this morning, and I took the diversion program of taking a community service hours, and I paid the fine of $250. I spoke with my grandmother. She's willing to help me pay the $250 because she had to get my kids into custody before DCF stepped in because I was away from my kids too long. And I asked her, would she be able to post my bond for the battery on the Leo? She said she won't be able to do it due to the fact that she took upon my kids, and she will help me pay my fine and with the community service. So that's why I was asking to be released.
If this case wasn't a factor, when would you get out of jail?
As far as the battery on the Leo, ma'am?
No, as far as the child support.
Child support towards my grandmother, Modesta Bryant?
You have a writ for child support.
I have it's from my grandmother because in the past she had my kids before, or it's from.
Okay, I don't need to know the reason why. I don't want you to say anything. So,
Okay.
the reason why I'm asking is, have you gone before your division judge in the child support case or the dependency case, whichever one it is?
Yes, ma'am. I have done all of those already.
Okay, so why isn't it showing, Devin? Maybe because it's today. Did you go this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And
I
they
went
said
this
that
morning.
you're gonna be released on the child support case.
No, she told me that I was in the KPS with the taxi cab. She never reported anything in regards
Okay.
reports.
Ma'am, you're talking about two different things.
Well, child support, all of that been taken care of through ChildNet because those cases are closed out already. So all of those are already finished.
We don't have that information yet. We just received.
When was that resolved? This morning?
Child support, no ma'am. What was done this morning was the taxi cab.
Yeah, I believe municipal ordinance.
This is my first time hearing anything about child support.
She just got the ad charge today.
Okay, you just got an ad charge for child support? So you owe 200 and how much? $295, $295.20. Do you know which judge that is?
No ma'am. I thought all those cases been closed since 2017, ma'am, because I've been done with ChildNet since 2017. This is my first time hearing anything about child support.
Do you have a copy of the writ or anything, or can anybody tell me? There should be one.
She was being ad.
For Judge Gam,
Yale Gam?
yes.
Do we have Judge Gam's number?
I can have it.
Huh?
You gonna have them scan it over to me real quick? The writ, you're gonna have them scan it over to me? It's at the office.
No, that's fine. I'll just call up Judge Gam's office. I'm just trying to find out the number.
I have a number here,
What is the last four?
7758.
Do we have a case number on that?
It looks like 1857. Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry, one moment, let me, hold on one moment. There might be more than one case, so, okay. Yeah, it's Judge Gam, it's 172039. That's it. FMCE.
Yeah, it means Family Central, which is the only one. All right, so Devin, why don't we magistrate, or do we have to yeah, we have to magistrate, no?
On the writ? No.
Okay.
She'll be scheduled within the next day or so.
Are you sure?
Yes, because we
So-
have to send the information over to the West Wing, and then they schedule her usually within a day. It's
Okay.
usually pretty quick. I shouldn't say within a day, but it's usually quick. That's why we have to send it over.
Call 7758, hold on. We're tossing them up that rate for 200 plus almost $300. Judge Gam's office. Call off the phone right there. Yeah, thank you. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do, ma'am. As far as a battery on an officer, I'm gonna do a GPS level 2. You'll have to verify where you're gonna live with pretrial services. Do you know their name and number?
Yeah, I can give you my grandma number and she could validate that I live at that address because I walk my kids to school every morning because we live
All right,
literally
ma'am,
across.
just give me her name and number. I don't need the details. I appreciate it, but
Okay, her name is Mavesta Bryant. M as in Maple, A as in Apple, V as in Vest, E as in Easter, T as in Tom, A as in Apple. Last name Bryant, like mine. And her telephone number is 954-768-0928.
just tell them it's an FYI. All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Deputy, it was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
You too.
Take care.
All right, Julie. So have you called?
Judge, I was able to get in touch, we're talking on Schulman now, correct?
Yeah.
I spoke to his father, Bob Schulman, and he verified that he was at the program, the retreat of Palm Beach, and that's where they would like him to go. I provided the phone number and address to Mr. Reedy, but Dad is in communications with them. It's covered by the insurance, and so they're asking him to
All right,
record
I'll
order
do a
to-
GPS open schedule
Okay.
to that, and he can just, he's to live.
Did you hear? Schulman.
He's to live at that drug facility and follow their recommendations. So how do we get his father to pick him up, to take him right there, Ivy? Can we have him released to his father's custody to drive him to the rehab?
My father, please,
Stating that he's only to be released.
Okay, what were you saying, Ms.
We'll
Chase?
need his father's name.
No, he was inquiring if his dad could take him to the program.
Yeah.
he's everything to me.
But Dad indicated that the program would pick him up. I provided a phone number. I was waiting on a name, but it would be the inpatient coordinator.
Does his dad want to take him?
Let me call the father back. I didn't know that that was an option. I was just looking for.
Let me call the
phone number
father.
for
What's
him.
the father's number?
954-696-9776.
Hello.
Hello, this is Judge Malika. How are you?
Hi, just fine. And I think I had the retreat on the line also.
You have who?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, man. My name is DJ. I work for Retreat. We're an inpatient treatment program, and we can bring Ian in today if he can get released.
All right, this is Judge Malika on the phone. You're on speakerphone. You're being recorded. We're in Magistrate Court in Broward County. I have a question for you for the retreat. Has Ian been a patient there before?
Due to HIPAA, I mean, I'd have to look into some things to be able to answer that question.
Well, he's standing right here in open
I
court.
wouldn't be able to.
Hold on a second. Mr. Schulman, are you saying that you've been in this program before?
I was in the program for, I'd say, about 12 days, but I was detoxing for about 10 of them, and due to me not being able to participate in the classes, the insurance cut funding, and they kicked me out only because I was literally in a bathroom for 10 days, ma'am.
My understanding
All right,
is.
I don't know if this is an appropriate solution. This doesn't sound like a great idea to me, but.
He was in the program before. This is his father.
Okay.
I can verify that for the rest.
Say your first and last name.
Robert. Last name is Schulman, Schulman.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So he has in the past been at the retreat. I think I'm there myself. I know the retreat can't give you the information because of the HIPAA laws, but I can.
Well, here's the thing. He says he was only there for 10 days and then something about his insurance. How do we know that's not going to happen again?
Well, ma'am.
That was a voluntary thing. Maybe the retreat can answer more questions as far as that goes.
Well, here's the thing. You said it was voluntary, but he's saying his insurance ran out. Or there was an issue with his insurance. That doesn't matter whether you're voluntary or not.
I don't know how it works as far as if it's signed by, if it's an order to complete a program. Is someone from the retreat still on here?
Yeah, I'm still with you. As far as the insurance, I mean, everything's based off medical necessity. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't really think I can get into detail about Ian's treatment history. I'd have to look into a couple of things, based off HIPAA. We do have to stay HIPAA compliant. Our patients sign consents when they admit. If said patient doesn't sign the consent, we can't disclose anything about their treatment to any parties. It's very similar to a hospital. We all follow these, laws and regulations.
Well,
But
here's the
everything's based
thing,
off medical
sir, I
necessity.
understand that, but you have him, you heard him, he's standing in front of me, he's in court, and, you hear him talking. So, if you want him to.
DJ, I've talked to you on the phone multiple times, right?
Yeah, you have. That's correct.
Okay, I personally am giving you permission to tell them whatever they need to know. Whatever they need to know.
All right,
Okay, well, I
this
can
is,
definitely
this
look
is,
into why he was,
yeah, that's what I wanna know.
why he was in treatment for 11 days.
No, I wanna know why he's not in treatment anymore. This is the thing, I wanna release him to a program, he obviously needs help. But I don't wanna release him to your program if there's gonna be an issue with insurance in 10 days or a week and,
No, if
yes,
I may,
State.
the impression I'm getting just listening to all this is, the issue was
Who's he?
Mr. Shulman was deep in detox when he went to the retreat. And that's partially part of the reason my understanding is why normally people in detox go to a detox center before they go to a treatment center. He wasn't able to participate in the program. His insurance said, well, if we're not going to participate, we're not going to cover this. And they cut off the resources. But, well, excuse me, at the same time though, then it begs the question, is it appropriate to have someone from a treatment center, I don't care if it's retreat or somewhere else, to come to jail, talk to him, do an evaluation to see is now an appropriate time? Because if he's still in the middle of detox, I don't know Mr. Shulman, but if he is, then we're talking about possibly going through the same motions that went through before.
I'm standing here perfectly fine.
Judge, I've had plenty of interaction with Mr. Schulman here this afternoon on and off. He's advised me he's through the detoxing portion, and I can tell you based on what I've seen and what I see of other individuals similarly situated in detox, that I think he is through the detoxing situation, and that's why the program I think would work for him. He's not in a situation where he requires more. So,
Well, here's the thing, I don't know if the insurance is only gonna cover 30 days.
Well, ma'am, the insurance will cover 30 days as long as I'm participating. The only reason I wasn't able to participate is because I was literally throwing up in a bath. I did not get out of a shower for 10 days.
I'm past that already. What happens after the 30 days? How long is your program for?
So we're modeled as a 30-day program, ma'am. It's all based on insurance, which is based off medical necessity as far as the time that's authorized. Last time he got 11 days authorized, but we do have step-down programs. As far as his actual amount of time in treatment, I mean, he could come in inpatient and then do outpatient once he completes his inpatient treatment with us. Outpatient can go on for up to a year. It's lower levels of care. It's partial hospitalization, intensive outpatient, general outpatient. It's much easier to get an authorization. His insurance he has is actually through Florida Blue Cross. And they are very tough as far as getting that 30 days, much more tougher than other facilities. It has less to do with Ian's participation on a program, more or less than the Florida Blue in general.
All right. This isn't sounding like a good option.
Ma'am, if you just give me
Well, I mean,
one...
he doesn't really have any other options, ma'am. I mean, it's a very high level of care. An inpatient is very similar to a hospital setting.
Well, my concern is...
So, I mean, that is the...
My concern is after the 30 days. And I understand what you're saying, but where's he gonna live after that? Most people are
So
in...
we work with outpatient... Yeah, we work with outpatient providers. I mean, we can get him set up in recovery housing. His aftercare is something we work on the whole time he's in the 30 days with us, whether that's an outpatient with housing model where he can get treatment and they can house him, on site where he can continue to get treatment. Like I said, that can go on for up to a year. It is an outpatient level of care.
So Judge, it sounds like the first 30 days is a more intensive level of care. There are step-down follow-up that they would provide housing and continued outpatient and things of that nature for up to a year.
Well, here's the thing, it doesn't sound like Blue Cross Blue Shield's gonna give him the 30 days potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a potential option, ma'am. I mean, it's kind of dealing with insurance companies. I mean, you never really know. I mean, but this is any kind of any kind of substance abuse or alcohol abuse treatment facility that works with insurance. I mean, it's more in the hands of the insurance company than ours. But as far as our level of care, I mean, there's not a lot of programs in Florida that even work with his insurance, and we do. We're in network, and his dad's willing to help him as far as the finances to get him in the door. So like I said, there's not a lot of programs that could even accept Ian, let alone at our level of care that we offer.
Ma'am, this is the best place I've ever been to in my entire life.
How would you know that if you were in the bathroom, you said, half the time? And I'm not being facetious, I'm just saying. You said that you were in the bathroom half the time detoxing, so how would you know? Let me finish. How would you know what their program's like?
The last 3 days I was very participative, and honestly, I wish I had been able to participate the whole time, because those last 3 days I did learn something. I just didn't learn enough. I'm going through a lot of depression type things, and the psychiatrists and psychologists there, they were very helpful. I just didn't get enough time to spend with them.
The judges, the other alternative, Your Honor, is we're going to be back here in 30 days on a motion for ROR on an unfiled case. So at this point, we can get him into a program where he's going to get the initial 30 days residential, hopefully, and step down and at least get started on some rehabilitation, or he can sit in the jail and we'll be back on a 30-day motion.
It's just amazing to me that council thinks that those are the only two options, as opposed to, I don't know, his attorneys doing some research, looking into some other potential programs where he could go and filing a motion to modify bond in front of his assigned judge.
Well, he's back on the second look docket, Your Honor, and this is something we're addressing. This is a program he's familiar with, he's been to before. I don't want to be in the position of saying this, but it feels like to some extent, because he has some insurance and has a private facility that will take him, we don't want to go with that. So I think, for the state to come up with another program.
It's not that I don't want to go with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm just concerned what happens after 21 days, or let's say they only approve him for 10, Miss Chase. I mean, come on.
Can we still ask him then if they would go to the step down and follow-up care?
We can ask anything you want. I'm just talking, let me finish, please, everybody. What happens if the insurance only gives him 20 days, or let's say it gives him 30? Then what happens with this, let's say a sober living, or whatever you want to call it, independent living, where he's living at a facility? What happens if his insurance doesn't cover it, or is that the type where he has to get a job and work and pay a certain amount of money? What's the situation with that?
So there's two different kinds of programs like that, ma'am. There's halfway housing or recovery houses where, they require their residents to go to AA or NA meetings, maybe like 5 a week. Within about a month, they have to have a job, be able to pay their own rent. They obviously encourage them to get a car eventually. It's basically stabilizing somebody, getting them back into the real world and being able to be self-sufficient. And then you have outpatient levels of care, Florida model PHP with housing programs, which utilize insurance, and in Ian's case, they could definitely utilize his Florida Blue coverage, and they provide housing and treatment, and that can go on for, like I said, up to a year.
But suppose he doesn't have insurance after the insurance runs out at your facility. What are his options?
Well, insurance doesn't necessarily run out, ma'am. I mean, what happened with his last stay when he was there 11 days is they stepped him down to a lower level of care. So, like I said, inpatient is the highest level of care for alcohol or substance abuse. It's very close to a hospital setting. So it's not like they just cut him off. It's not like he lost his coverage. They stepped him down from an inpatient to I believe it was PHP level of care. So he does have active coverage. It is good through December 31st of this year, and then it would renew come 2020. So they don't just cut coverage; they step people down to lower levels of care.
Well, it sounds like his coverage, there was a situation where his coverage got cut. So that's my concern. So what is the name of your place, sir?
Well, our facility is called Retreat at Palm Beach.
And what's the address?
Address is 4020 Lake Worth Road, Palm Springs,
Hold on, road.
3
Hold on, Palm Springs. Okay,
33461.
all right. So we have Mr. Schulman's dad on the phone.
Correct.
I have a question for you. Can you bond him out if I did a GPS open schedule?
I can.
You can or cannot?
I could, yes. I can bond him out, but I only want him to be released to the retreat because I don't want to, he needs to go straight to there, from you to them.
And who's gonna pick him up from the retreat?
We provide transportation. I'm not sure who the driver would be yet. We'd have
Do we
to,
need a name?
I'd have to reach out to our drivers that work in our admissions office, and
Well, we
that
need
would
a
definitely be our
specific,
staff.
we need a specific name. That's what the jail BSO requires. They're sitting here with me. You want us to hold?
Okay, I could let you know. I could let you know in about 2 minutes if that's okay.
Sure, we'll hold. It's gonna be tomorrow.
It's going to be tomorrow? Okay, what's the address we're actually picking them up from?
The Broward County Main Jail.
Okay. Yeah, you said you'll hold it. It might take a few minutes to find out who the driver would
Sure,
be. What
go
time
ahead.
could he be released tomorrow?
Whatever time he sets up
12,
at the jail.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Devin, he has to set that up at the jail, right?
All right, so I will, I'll try for 1 o'clock, and let me just see who the driver's going to be. Just bear with me.
Yes.
The jail would need the program to tell them what time they're gonna
No,
come.
I understand.
Okay, I just wanted,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's just
yeah.
no confusion that he thinks he's.
No, I know.
All right, so he's going to be at the 555 Southeast First Avenue in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
Okay.
So what are we gonna put for after 30 days and, be in after recovery, or what do you want me to put?
I guess it's, Michelle would have to be his.
Can we put follow program recommendations?
Is that fine?
I mean, it's really gonna be, it satisfies the pretrial, because ultimately, pretrial's gonna have to have the address where he's gonna be residing, because
I
that's. Yeah. Yeah.
But however, if a specific address is on that court order, that's where you.
And that would be a time to go to the division judge and ask for a modification to reflect the new address if he's leaving this particular address.
No, all he has to do is notify them.
Okay.
He doesn't have to get a court order.
If a specific address is removed after you get that order, please before you leave that address, a different order releasing him from that address to go somewhere else.
Well, I can write something in here that he can go to another facility without leave of court.
Thank you, Judge.
I mean, there's no sense, I mean, if he's gonna go, I mean, why make it difficult for him? So we'll wait for this gentleman to come back. I'm just gonna do an open schedule, GPS open schedule. Yeah, no bond required. But here's the thing, on 1, 2, and 3, I'm gonna ROR him to GPS. Trying to get 4, 5, 6, and 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're missing one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10. Here you go. You can look at my sheet. Is that what it is? All right, so he's only on the GPS on 1, 2, and 3, and, can I see that paper back? Yes. Thank you.
Not including 4
Yeah,
and 4?
no, that's the misdemeanor. So, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So this is what it is, Devin, 1, 2, and 3 are ROR GPS open schedule. 4, 5, 6, and 7 are ROR, and 8 and 9 are NA. We got disconnected.
And you said 8 and 10 were on the slide, right?
Hello?
Hi, it's Judge Malika.
Oh, yes. You're still on the other line, but okay.
You want to hook them in? We need to put this in a court order to get this rolling. We need the name of the person.
I'm still with you, ma'am. I'm calling our transportation supervisor now. Just give me 1 second.
Let me ask you, where is going to be the address where he is going to reside? The 4020 address?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Give me 1 minute, Julie. North Broward? Who do we have left?
We have 2 young men.
Who do we have?
We have McNair
Okay, page 5, let's do them.
and Ronald George.
Okay, are you Todrick McNair?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what are we doing with Mr. McNair?
Well, this is a second look, Your Honor, on a possession of cocaine. At the time of his arrest, possession of cocaine.
And drug paraphernalia.
At the time of his arrest, he was out on another possession of cocaine. From what I can tell, he was supposed to be at James Club.
And he wasn't, he left.
Well, I don't know if he left or not, but he's definitely not supposed to be using him, according to the allegation.
All right, then I'll deny the second look.
I'll keep trying to reach your sister, Mr. McNair.
Okay, so Todrick McNair is denial.
Can we resolve the case?
No, we can't resolve it. It's a felony.
So he was rearrested and he was at James Club.
his pending case, Judge Tobin Singer ordered him to be released to James Club.
Maybe you want to alert Tobin Singer.
I'll let the ASA and drug court know about it, Judge.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
I have the name of the driver for you.
All right, let me get the order. Go ahead, sir.
His name is Jose.
Jose?
Do you want me to spell it phonetically? It's just a normal way you'd spell Jose.
Yeah, what's his last name?
It's Valtierra. That's Victor, Alpha, Lima, Tango, India, Echo, Romeo, Romeo, Alpha.
All right, and when would you like to pick him up?
I have it set up for 1. If that's not going to work, we could definitely adjust it, but we can absolutely be there at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
All right, 1 p.m. from the Broward Main Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and just to let you know, I'm putting in here, he's to follow all recommendations of the retreat of Palm Beach. Defendant may move to another drug facility without leave of court. What I mean by drug facility is a sober home, something along those lines. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. Yep, that's
All
a great
right,
idea.
and what's a phone number? Do you need a phone number, Ivy? I mean, not Ivy, Devin, I'm sorry. Of the driver or the retreat?
If possible.
Okay, we need a number for the Jose and one for your office. So why don't we start with
Okay,
your
I'll
office?
give you the office one. Yeah, the office one is 717
Mm-hmm,
859
mm-hmm,
8000.
okay,
And the number for Jose is 561
okay,
379
okay,
9608.
okay.
All right?
All right, and do you do random testing and stuff?
We do, absolutely.
And you take someone with an Elmo? An electronic monitor?
What do you mean? Yeah, as long as he gets charged and everything, we've done that before. Yeah,
Okay.
is he gonna have all the things he needs to keep it charged?
Yeah, and if he doesn't, then he's gonna have a warrant out for his arrest, so. Okay?
Okay, yeah, it's definitely not the first time. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for your patience.
Your Honor, I have one more
Thank you,
question.
ma'am.
Sure, sir, go ahead.
I know he probably has court in Deerfield Beach for traffic, because his license was suspended for not having insurance, got an insurance card on him. And
Uh-huh.
that's what started this whole thing in the first place. How does that work? Because he'll be at this facility when all that takes place. Can that be continued on another warrant?
You're gonna
for him
have
not
to
showing up
contact the
court?
public defender's office and speak to them.
Okay.
Or you can also, he's gonna have to do something, but he has a driving while license is suspended in these charges. So I don't know if there's
Correct.
another one, but somehow, he's
This-
gonna have to put a request in.
There's probably a good chance the case his father's referring to is this case because I see it's out of North Satellite.
Well, this is the CF10A case.
No, I'm talking about the misdemeanor. He's on the misdemeanor docket also
Yeah,
for
I
the
know.
TC capias.
Who is it?
I'm checking.
All right, he's gonna have to file, I can't start helping him, sir. I mean, I'm the judge, so he has a case in front of Judge Levy that
Okay.
he's gonna have to start, he's gonna have to communicate with the public defender and Judge Levy's division. Maybe you could shoot off a message, Julie?
And-
Or Mr. Reedy?
And that's the case his father was referring to. It was at Deerfield and will now be downtown. He has no other open traffic cases up at Deerfield.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All right,
Okay, great. I'll get in touch with the bondsman now and get that taken care of.
how come it says failure to register a vehicle?
Where, I don't know what
That's all I have on the second look.
Because that's the traffic case at North Satellite.
I thought he said it was a driving while license.
Oh. I didn't catch the exact
All
reference to the
right, you're gonna have to
charge.
speak to the public defender. Someone's gonna have to call him, Ms. Chase. Maybe you can call him and explain to him that the driving while license is suspended is part of the felony case and the failure to register a vehicle before Judge Levy, or you could contact someone there. It's failure to register a vehicle.
Your Honor, his father's under the impression that you left a bond in place.
For what?
This case, because you mentioned he was going
You
to
don't have
contact
to
a
pay a
bond.
bond, sir, okay?
Oh, I don't? Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna he's gonna have an ankle monitor on him. And if he violates, then he'll be back in the jail on a no bond hold.
That's great with me.
All right, so sir, I just want to make it clear, you're gonna have to follow all the recommendations, Mr. Schulman. And even if you run out of insurance, it's gonna be up to you to find another facility, whether it be a halfway house, a sober home, recovery center, or something like that. Otherwise, you're gonna violate the terms of your pretrial, okay?
Ma'am, question, how long is this supposed to go on for, just in
Until
case
further
insurance
order
starts?
of the court.
Okay.
Thank you. Could go on for 6, 9 months a year. Thank you, good luck to you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye-bye. Devin, you might want to take a look at this. Is that it?
We have
Oh,
a
wait.
couple more. We have one more Conti. North Broward. That's George Ronald.
George Ronald?
Yes, second look.
All right. Okay, Mr. Ronald, thank you for your patience, sir. So you have $1,000 bond.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And Mr. Ronald is also out on a felony right now for. 1 moment. Two counts of criminal use of a personal ID, possession of similitude of a driver's license.
All right, so Mr. Reedy, this looks like something's going on here. I'm gonna leave $1,000 bond. If you wanna, I'll reset it for tomorrow. I'll put some note in there. if
Yeah,
want.
would you please, Judge? Because I was speaking with his bondsman earlier,
Oh, okay, and,
and she's willing to get him out. But the place that they had in mind, and I think he might have been there in the past, is Pompano Beginners Club.
okay, that's where he wants to go.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that case has been going on for well over a year. My mother just passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I have a dog that's in the pound too, and if I don't get him within 30 days, they're gonna destroy him. And he's the only thing I have to my mother. And I don't want to lose him.
Your bondsman's been in touch with your dog's vet, so they're trying to take care of that situation for you as well.
Thank you, sir.
So what are we doing with this? Resetting it for tomorrow for what? Can I have the
We can
order?
do it now if you want, Judge. I mean, if you want to send him off to,
Okay,
thought
write
he-
the order up.
I mean, I thought his bondsman said they were going to bond him out, and then he could go to Pompano Beginners.
she only indicated that she would be willing to assist him in getting out of jail if he was to go to Pompano Beginners Club.
Yes. That's what I want to do in the first
Let's
place.
do a
Your
GPS
Honor.
to Pompano Beginners. Can you give him the order?
Your
Madam
Honor.
Clerk, hold on, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Give the order to Mr. Reedy.
Your Honor, I do not want to be out in the street. I hate it out there.
Okay.
I hate it.
Okay, well, we're gonna get you to Pompano Beginners.
Thank you, ma'am. I really, really appreciate this very much. You will not be disappointed.
Well, here's the thing, we're gonna put a GPS on you so you stay there.
That's fine.
I mean, if you wanna switch to another
No,
place, let me finish. If you don't like Pompano Beginners anymore, and you wanna go to
Yeah.
another place, that's
Okay.
fine. You're not married to Pompano Beginners. But,
Right.
you do have to be at another facility till further
Okay.
order of the court,
Okay.
and you're gonna be released from them.
Okay.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you can't call them up, Mr. Reedy, because they never pick up the phone. Is that the one?
Exactly. That's
Okay, give me the
Sylvia.
number.
954-861-81.
Is this okay? It's a mess, but it's okay.
I need my heart. To my
If
dog.
they answer Mr. Reedy, maybe you can come up here. That message?
Bumping up against the family.
Yes, hi, this is Judge Malika calling you from First Appearance Magistrate Court in Broward. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You're on speakerphone and you're being recorded. I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Reedy. He wants to see if you can have someone come to your facility, if you have room, and what the conditions are, okay?
Absolutely, not a problem, Your Honor.
All right.
It's
We'll be
Charlie.
back in a second, sir. Have a seat. Thank you. How you doing?
Good, how are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you. How pretty. That is so sweet. It's nice to be loved. To know me is to love me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, I'm fine. Just give me a second. Thank you, though. That's so sweet. All right, so what are we doing here? We're taking him to Pompano Beginners. When are they picking him up? Okay, sir, I'm gonna do a GPS level 2.
Okay, and what does that consist of, ma'am?
That's an electronic monitor. You have to live at Pompano Beginners. You
Mm-hmm.
can't move from there without prior order of the court. You're to follow all their recommendations, and if you violate it, you'll be right back here. You'll get a free ride back to the Broward County Jail.
Now, what about working and stuff?
You can work, but I don't know what Pompano Beginners is gonna, what their position is. I'm sure
They
you have to live
specifically
there.
asked that, if he can work.
Yeah,
I'll do
I
an
need
open, I'll do an open schedule.
Oh.
But you have to remain in Broward and Palm Beach and Dade,
That's fine.
okay? I'll do an
That's
open
fine.
schedule, I'm sorry.
Is this your last day on the bench, Your Honor?
No, it's my last day in first appearance court.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I hope I don't see you again upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make it too much of a habit of coming around here, George.
Yeah.
It's dangerous around here, man.
Yeah.
All right, Judge, let me.
You coming to get me tomorrow morning?
When are they coming?
Tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock.
They smell so good.
Yeah. That's what technically.
Are we finished?
Yeah, I think so.
So you coming to get me tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, sometime, anywhere?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock tomorrow.
1 o'clock tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, bye-bye.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. All right,
You're
no one
welcome.
left?